Okay, welcome once again to our episode of Jesus Christ Now. I want to be talking to you today on John 13:31, the new commandment. So when he had gone out, he said, Jesus said, now the Son of Man is glorified and God is glorified in him. And so the Son of Man is glorified and God is glorified in him. His Father is glorified in him. That's what I was talking about in the last episode. That's not out yet on YouTube, but it will be out. I'm going to be talking about glorify God, glorify your Father, glorify him. Don't glorify men. And that's why the people make a lot of mistakes doing that. As soon as they confront it with men, they start glorifying men. The men start talking about worldly stuff, and they start glorifying what they say instead of glorifying. And they don't glorify Jesus. They don't glorify the Father. So you don't want to be taking in all that, that's why, you don't glorify me, you glorify God. And here he is, Jesus glorifying the Father. Now the Son of Man is glorified. Jesus is glorified by who? By his Father. And God is glorified in him. He's already glorified. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself. And glorify him immediately. Immediately. When you glorify God, immediately, okay, he glorifies you. Okay? Just like his Father and Son. If you're a son or daughter of God, you're his son too, daughter, man or woman. So he glorifies you. When you glorify him, that's why you must glorify your Father first, and not stop glorifying people or what they say, and make what they say more important than what your Father says to you. And what does your Father say to you? The Word of God. When you walk out there in the world, you glorify God. You don't glorify people. And glorify immediately, he says. And glorify him immediately. Little children, I shall be with you a little while longer. You will seek me. And as I said to the Jews, where I'm going, you cannot come. So now I say to you, a new commandment I give it to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. Okay? You can love them, you don't have to glorify them. Love people, don't glorify what they're doing. Don't glorify them. By this all will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. Okay? You must love one another. Now, there's some people that may not accept you loving them, okay? Because they don't love themselves. They don't love God. They don't love anything about God. So they don't love. They hate you, but you still love them in your heart. You don't glorify what they say to get on their good side. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to get on the good side of the world. You want to get on the good side of God. Follow what I'm saying? You don't glorify what they're saying. You don't glorify any story that they tell you. You don't glorify it. Because that's of the world. That's not of God. Okay. So you don't glorify that. So then Simon says to him, Lord, where are you going? He says, where I'm going, you cannot follow me now. You should follow me afterward. You follow me later. Okay. Where I'm going now, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll follow me afterward. Okay? Where I'm going, you cannot follow me. And, now. But later you can. But you shall follow me afterward. And Peter said to him, Lord, why can I not follow you now? I will lay down my life for your sake. And that's when he told him, before the crow sings, you're going to deny me 3 times. And he did. As soon as that That's how. And Peter was one of his best disciples, you know, and denied him 3 times. You got to imagine these Jews saw. I said this before. These Jews saw all kinds of revelations, you know, during 3 years of walking with God in the mountains and stuff, and they saw miracles. Yet they still denied him. Peter denied him 3 times. Peter walked in the water, you know, when he came off the boat, because he had faith in God. And as soon as his faith started diminishing, he started sinking down in the water. And then Jesus pulled him up because his faith was. But see, what he did meant a lot to Jesus because he had the courage and faith in God, which the other disciples didn't have. So he got a lot of points for trying. See, he tried it and almost failed. If God didn't pull him from the water, he would have drowned. But he had faith enough to walk. Jesus told him, come in the water and walk here in the water. And he did. And he was brave. He had courage. The other ones were just thinking that the boat was going to sink. So when he did that, Jesus, you know, had different thoughts about Peter. And then later on, Peter denied him. That tells you there's a message there that no matter what you see, what you do, blessed are the eyes who see what you see, do what you do, and hear what you hear. Luke 10:22-23. You still can fall off the grace of God. Look what Peter did. He denied him 3 times. No, they asked him when they were throwing rocks at him at the temple. They asked him, and he said, no, I don't know. No, you were one of them. You were one of the main ones. He says, no, I wasn't like that. You know? They thought it was all over. They thought it was a fluke. You know? And then when they saw him again, he came back as a spirit before he ascended up in Luke 24. That was another one. They saw, oh, Jesus. They saw. Because they saw, they believed. When Thomas saw him, because they saw, they believed. So that's what it is. You have to stay abiding in Him at all times. You have to believe, you have faith, all the time, not just sometimes. Like some of His disciples, sometimes, oh, except Judas was a thief, you know, and a liar, and betrayed God. But all the other ones, you know, some were, they weren't all together. They were disciples because they followed God. Okay, they weren't perfect by no means. The only perfect one was God, Jesus, never sinned. They had doubts in their mind while they were traveling, and it's in all over the Bible. Now, when Peter did that, walked in the water, he showed that he had faith, he had courage. That's what you got to have, faith and courage. And if God tells you to do something, God told him, come over here and walk in the water. I'm God. And he believed. He believed God. In that moment he believed, but later on he didn't. Later on he got scared. And the other ones, I imagine, you know, I don't know exactly, but some of the other ones probably did get scared too. And they were scared. They were scared when he ascended back, when he died on the cross. They thought it was all over. You know, so what? They were saying to themselves, "What are we going to do now? What do we do now?" And Jesus came to them and he says, "Don't worry. You know, I'm going to send you the Holy Spirit to help you." So, let not your heart be troubled. If you believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If I were not so, I would not have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go prepare a place for you, I will come and receive you to myself, that wherever I am, there you may be also. And where I am, you know, and the way you know. And the way you know you know, and the way you know. So he says, and where I go you know, and the way you also know. There's no excuse, you know. Now, I always say it's important, if it's better for you not to know something than to know it and not do it. Because that's in, I believe it's on James 4, James 3. And Thomas said to him, we do not know where you're going, how can we know the way? Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to me except through the Father, except through me. If you have known me, you will have known my Father, and also from now on you have known him and have seen him. But you know him. You've seen him. And I always read that John 14:7, one of my favorite scriptures. Philip said to the Lord, show us the Father, is sufficient for us. Haven't I been with you so long, yet you have not known me, Philip? Who has seen me has seen the Father. Okay? So I'm telling you right here, I am the Father and the Son. Okay? So if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So how can you say you show us the Father? Do you not believe that I am the Father? And the Father in me? Now, there's a big, huge message there. Okay? Do you not believe that I am the Father and the Father in me? That's what we ought to say too. Don't you believe me? I have the Father in me. I have my Father in me. Do you not believe that? The words that I speak to you, I do not speak on my own authority. So he didn't speak on his own authority. He heard what his Father said to him. He was constantly hearing to what his Father said to him. That's why he was always praying to his Father in a quiet place. But the Father who dwells in me does the work. See, the Father who was in him is the one that does the works for him. So that's the way it should be with us too. Our Father, Jesus Christ, is the one who should do the works for us. Who's inside of us. If you really believe that you have the Holy Spirit inside of you, and you believe in God, and you have faith in God, that's why he told him there in John 15, Father, I know you hear when I'm praying to you, you hear my voice, and you hear me. So, right there, on John 14, the words that I speak to you, I do not speak on my own authority, but the Father who dwells in me, who's inside of me, does the works. He's the one that does the works, not me. Believe that I am the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the sake of the works themselves. So if you don't believe me, watch what I do. That's what that means. Watch my works. Watch what I do. Who do you think does all these miracles that I'm doing? It's not me. It's my Father in me. For most assured, I say to you, he who believes in me and does the works that I do will do also. So you will do it also. Believes in me and the works that I do, he will do also. So you will do it also. I say to you, this is God talking, he who believes in me, now you have to believe in him, believing the works that I do, he will do also. If you believe in the works that your Father Jesus does, you will do it also. If you believe in it. That's what he said. That's why when you pray, you say, whatever you pray in Jesus' name will be done if you believe it in your heart. He will do also greater works than these he will do, because I go to my Father. Yeah? He goes to his Father. If you go to your Father also, you will do it also. Because he dwells in you too. if you are sealed with the Spirit, the Spirit of God. And whoever you ask in my name, I will do. Why? Because you have Jesus with you. That the Father may glorify in the Son. Glorify. Glorify. There's the word glorified again. I'm talking about glorify. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. And I will do it. Whatever you ask in my name, I will do it. Then if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And I will pray to the Father and give you another helper. Okay? That's if you're an unbeliever. If you pray, if you love me and keep my commandments, I will pray to the Father and he will give you another helper. Okay? So let's say you're praying to God. And you say, I love God, and I want to change my ways, and I want to know God. If you're an unbeliever, to be a believer, you have to follow the commandments of God. Okay, that's what being a believer is. A believer of God does the things of God, abides in God, loves God. First loves God, truly loves God with all his mind, power, strength. He's just in love with God. That's a true believer of God. Then everything else he does is secondary. The first thing he does is love God. It's a true believer of God. If you believe in love Jesus, you love God, the first thing that you do right is love God. It's the first one. So as I said, if you love, keep the commandments. If you love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray, then after that I will pray to the Father, and then I will give you another helper. So if you're trying to be a person of God, the first thing you got to do is love God. It says, I love God. I don't know him, but I want to keep his commandments and pray to God. And then if you pray, this is what he'll do. I'll pray to him. He will give you another helper. When you pray to him, he's going to pray to his Father for you. Then the Father will make a decision. When you pray to God, Jesus will turn your prayer over to his Father. And then his Father will draw you and draw you near. And then you will have a helper. Then we will give you another helper that he may abide with you forever. Forever. So the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because neither sees him nor knows him. Okay? The world cannot do that because they don't see him. They say, what am I going to believe here if I don't see? Why am I going to love a God that I don't see? Why am I going to love a God that I don't see? Well, that's what it takes. It's the Spirit and truth, whom the world cannot receive. The world cannot receive God because they don't believe him. The world doesn't believe in God. The natural man does not believe in God. The Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. The world can't receive it because they don't see it. And it's the truth. Because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you know him. For he dwells with you and will be in you. Okay? So his children know him. His children walk with him. Because he lives with them. I will not leave you orphans. I will come to you. That's why he told his disciples, I'm going to send you the helper. I'm going to send you the Holy Spirit to help you. Because you can't do it. The Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. The world's not going to receive you unless I'm there with you. Because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you know him. For he dwells with you and will be in you. See, to follow, to understand this, you have to believe in something that you don't see. It's a spirit. God is a spirit. And those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. In John 4:23. The hour is coming, now is, when the true worshipers must worship in spirit and in truth. And then in John 4:24 it says, God is a spirit. Now, I am a spirit, he's telling me right there. And if you want to have me, you have to believe in the spirit. You have to believe in something that you don't see. But you know what I can do for you if you're a child of God. If you are in his kingdom, living in the kingdom with God, you know that you see things that nobody else sees. You hear things that nobody's heard. Not even kings or prophets hear what you hear, see what you see. You just ask me and my wife. We've been seeing things for how long? For over a year and a half. We see things. We hear things. He changes lights. He does this. He moves around. You know, he talks to us. You know, he's funny. He's a spirit, but we know him already. He's our Father. We have an intimate relationship with our Father, in Jesus Christ. Can you imagine? You know, the highest power in the universe is our Father. Imagine that. In a little studio, beautiful apartment like this one. He lives here with us. How awesome is that? Where the King of the universe has time for a little piece of ant like me, my wife. That's what God is. That's awesome to have a God like our Father like that. When you see things, no, he's not going to show it to anybody. No sign will be given unless you know. Unless you abide with him, unless you have an intimate relationship, unless you obey him, unless you do his commandments, unless you do the things of God, unless you do all those things, you will not see anything. No sign will be given. This is a wicked generation. If you're wicked, you're not going to see God. You're going to see Satan. That's what you're going to see. You'll never see God. God is all about love. He's a judgmental God. But he's not the one that kills you. That's for another show. I don't want to even get into that one. That's another show. But imagine, you know, having the sovereign master of the universe, your Father. You see things that you've never seen before. You start seeing things. The closer you get to do the things of God, the more freedom he gives you, the more he starts setting you free. At the beginning, you go through a little rough patch. You have to learn how to wait on him. And he may undress you. Undress you means he may stop everything. He stop you cold. That's what you gotta do. He didn't have to do it to me. I did it before he did it to me because I knew he was going to do it. So I did it before him. I did it before because I knew it was coming. So I stopped right away. As soon as he came and saved my wife, was praying for her, he redeemed me. I stopped what I was doing. I emptied my pockets. I threw away all the, got rid of all the gold, money, cars, whatever I had. Whatever I had that I thought was not of God, I got rid of it. Right away. Because God showed up. You know, whenever God shows up, what's more important than God? Well, people say, well, God is here. They put God in a secondary or in a different, not first. You gotta put God first. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna turn it off, everyone. I had to say it this time. We'll see you next time from next show.